Today, we are going to talk about 7 ingredients that can quietly bring your blood pressure down, and the biology behind why they actually work. Here is the strange part first. You can eat clean, sleep well, carry no visible illness, and still receive a number on a cuff that makes a doctor's face change. This is the quiet alarm most people never hear, ringing until it is already loud. This is not a salt problem alone. This is not a matter of stress you can simply breathe away. This is a signaling breakdown, a conversation between your blood vessels and your bloodstream that has quietly gone wrong. Deep in your kidneys sits a small, ancient committee of hormones called the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. Its job, for most of human history, was survival. To conserve every last grain of salt and drop of water when food was scarce and salt was rare. But you do not live in that world anymore. And this committee never received the memo. It still sounds the alarm. It still tightens the vessels. It still holds on to salt, as if your life depended on it, because once it did. 2 quiet allies stand ready to calm this committee down. The first is potassium. Think of it as the counterweight to sodium, nudging your kidneys to release what your ancient hormones are so desperate to hoard. The second is magnesium, the mineral that acts like a hand gently prying open a clenched fist of vascular, smooth muscle. Together, sustained over months, they have been shown in clinical trials to meaningfully lower systolic pressure, not through willpower, but through simple biochemical permission. Here is the part your doctor rarely has time to explain. Lining every one of your blood vessels is a paper-thin layer of cells called the endothelium. And in a body under long-term pressure, this layer behaves like a rusted hinge. It used to swing open effortlessly. Now it grinds. It sticks. And the molecule responsible for oiling that hinge has a name: nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is not something you swallow directly. It is manufactured through a hidden refinery inside your own mouth and gut, called the enterosalivary circuit. Certain plants deliver the raw material, dietary nitrate, most abundantly found in beetroot. Bacteria on your tongue convert it. Your stomach refines it further, and it becomes the whispered password that tells a clenched vessel wall to finally let go. In a controlled clinical trial published in the American Heart Association's own journal, patients with hypertension who drank beetroot juice daily for 4 weeks saw sustained, measurable drops in their blood pressure. Not a fluke, but a repeatable biological unlocking. But it gets stranger still. Garlic, the same bulb humans have carried into kitchens for over 5,000 years, contains a compound called allicin. Ancient cultures called it medicine. Modern biochemistry now shows why. Allicin boosts the very enzyme that produces nitric oxide, while simultaneously lowering the calcium concentration inside vascular smooth muscle. It is, quite literally, an ancient locksmith, still turning the same lock your ancestors trusted it to turn. And a third compound joins this quiet campaign. Omega-3 fatty acids, drawn from fish oil, working less like a locksmith and more like a softener, easing inflammation and restoring flexibility to vessel walls that stress and time have made brittle. Stay with me, because this changes everything you thought you knew about where pressure comes from. This is not a genetic curse etched permanently into you. It is a body responding, exactly as designed, to a chemical environment it was never built to survive. Consider the modern bridge your arteries are being asked to carry. They were engineered across millions of years for a diet drenched in potassium-rich plants and almost entirely free of processed sodium. Then, within a few short centuries, a blink in evolutionary time, that world vanished. Salt became cheap. Nitrate-rich vegetables became rare on the plate. Picture an old stone bridge built to carry foot traffic and the occasional cart, suddenly forced to bear an endless convoy of highway trucks. It is not that the bridge is broken. It is that no one designed it for this particular load. Two final allies complete this design. Hibiscus, consumed for centuries as a deep red tea, floods the bloodstream with antioxidant compounds shown in clinical studies to ease both the upper and lower numbers on your reading. And CoQ10, a molecule your own mitochondria depend on for energy, has in 10-week clinical trials produced significant reductions in blood pressure by preserving the very nitric oxide availability that keeps your vessels supple. Now look at your own arteries differently. That silent alarm from the opening of this story was never a sign of a body failing. It was a system inherited from your ancestors, faithfully doing exactly what it was built to do, in a world that no longer matches the instructions it was given. Here is your protocol. First, the biological truth. High blood pressure is rarely a failure of character. It is a signaling breakdown between ancient machinery and a modern diet. Second, the immediate shift. Today, you can add potassium-rich food, a modest beetroot serving, or a clove of garlic to a single meal, and give your endothelium a chance to remember how to relax. Third, the identity punch. You become someone who no longer fights their biology in the dark, but speaks its language on purpose every single day. So tell me, of these 7, which one is already missing from your plate today? Let me know in the comments.